Hello and welcome to the Sunbirdcrochet podcast. My name is Claudia and I'm coming to you from Germany. Thank you for coming back to watching my podcast. Today I have for you 2 finished objects and a work in progress and lots of incoming. Not just yarn, other things as well. So let's start. My first finished object is a loop shawl. If you're following me on Instagram, then you already saw that I found or was given this knitted panel of yarny goodness. This is vintage yarn from 1973. So what I did was I secured the stitches on the live end, the loops, which were still alive. And then I crocheted here into the fabric a line of surface crochet, and from there on I worked a V-stitch pattern into this. So I've made the whole length of it, and then I slip stitch joined both my ends. So now it's a loop shawl. I've still got plenty of that yarn left, but I really like it. This is going to be a summer shawl for one of my family members. And I'm rather pleased that I was able to finish a started project, which is almost as old as I am. So that's my first finished object. The wool is a Schachenmeier viscose and acrylic yarn from 1973, as I said. And it's discontinued, obviously, so there's no point in giving you more details about it. But I don't even know what this pattern is here in knitting. I couldn't recreate it, but it's really lovely. I do have a vintage knitting Bible book by Vogue, and I think I've seen something similar in that book. So I think That pattern is still out there somewhere. I just don't know what it's called. That's my first finished object. Now my second finished object is also a shawl. It's from the latest MOORIT magazine issue. It's called the Slice of Life Shawl. And I've shown you my progress last time using Lana Grossa yarn, and now it's finished. I've used 2 balls of yarn, a little less than 2 balls of yarn, to create this shawl. And I haven't blocked it yet. It's rolling a little bit here on the top, but I don't mind. And I can wear it in summer on a green dress, a rose-colored dress. It lends itself to lots of colors because of the color changing yarn. A minty one. I really like this. Also at the same time, it was a fun project, but I'm happy to start something new soon. I'm going to talk about that in a moment. So these are my 2 finished projects. My other work in progress, which I've worked on, and I haven't worked on anything else except for this one. It's still my Battenberg blanket. I've added a couple of squares, so it's still growing. I haven't woven in the ends yet, so that will be another task, a job for a Zoom craft night, but it's definitely growing. I've still got plenty of colorful squares left, and I will continue doing that until I run out of this yarn, and then I will see what I will do for a border. But so far it's coming along nicely. Now Easter has been already done and dusted, but as you have seen at the beginning of my video, I've added a bit of footage from my Easter weekend, and I'm also going to add a bit of footage from yesterday. I've been to a nearby castle yesterday just because I wanted to see something different, and meanwhile the castle is in the process of being restored, renovated and looked after, so we didn't go inside the castle itself, that's for another day, but around the castle are a couple of buildings, and in one of the buildings is a person who is selling handmade soaps and lotions. I went there. And then there is a ceramic person. I went there as well. And then there is a spinner. So I thought you might enjoy watching the spinner and having a look at her shop. I had a very lovely chat with her. Her shop is called Handgemenge, and I've been there before. In fact, I've bought some yarn from her before, and I've made one cushion cover for myself, and I've sent the other half of the yarn to Faye, who made also a cushion cover out of it. And now I went back there, and I just wanted to show you a little bit around the shop there. I asked the shop owner's permission, and then I will show you what I've purchased at her shop. you might have seen that she was selling also some really interesting buttons, unusual buttons. So I've bought this one. And this one. And this one. Now I believe these are made out of coconut shells. And I will surely find a nice project for those. Then she was selling a limited number of shawl brooches. These are made out of tools which were usually used for building pianos. So this is very interesting, I think. And I'm going to use those, or this one, for a shawl brooch or needle. And then she was also selling crochet hooks and knitting needles. So I've bought this pair of knitting needles. It's a 5.5 millimeter needle by Holz und Stein, wood and stone. And this is, I believe this is lilac wood. And I've bought this so I can work on my ranunculus sleeves because it has a little bit of a shorter cable. But most interesting of all, I've bought some artisan wool at her place. This beautiful, beautiful hand spun yarn. It doesn't look like it's spun, but believe me, it is. You get these little bits here, there, everywhere. So what I'm going to do with this is to crochet a cowl. And I've gone for natural color of a wool instead of a, well, as you've seen in my little video, she usually has all kind of lovely colors, but I thought that these little curls will be more of a feature if you can see them and you're not getting distracted by the color. So I think this is going to be a lovely, interesting cowl. I will probably use a hook size 12 or bigger, and then I will make a very loosely crocheted crochet cowl. Maybe even like a dickie, something to keep my shoulders and neck warm. That's the plan. Now, I still owe you the side of my latest project bag, which I've purchased. I talked about it and I only was able to show you the fabric because I had given it to my mother for her to know or to take it as a prototype for more bag sewing. So let me just show you this cute little project bag. The fabric is by Acufactum. Yeah. So that's the bag from last time. And I've also bought some more yarn because I've got plans for this. I've bought it also because I wanted to know what the yarn is like by Life and the Long Grass. So this is a sport weight yarn, 100% superwash merino, and I've chosen the colorway Pink Haze. I've got 2 skeins of this. And then I've got 2 skeins of the colorway Oyster. And 1 skein of a really beautiful colorway called Violet. So my plan for this is to finally come up with a crochet shawl design in the style of a West knits shawl, but in crochet. These 2 as my main color combination, with some color pop accents in this color. And I'm tossing around a couple of ideas, and when the ideas will have come to a design, I will let you know. And then for another design, actually for MOORIT magazine, spring summer issue 2025, 2024, the one after the next one must be 2024. The submission date is the 21st of April, so I'm running out of time, and this is also the reason why I might not actually hand a submission into MOORIT. But I've got the yarn. It took a while to come to me, so it's just like everything took a bit longer, and it's probably my fault because I only got into gear quite late. So but I will definitely follow up my ideas for this design, and let me just show you the theme for the MOORIT submission call was called Balance, and Alison had posted a mood board on Pinterest and on the website of MOORIT magazine, and they were really nice inspirations. And then one photo stood out for me, which was arches, I think somewhere in India maybe, or in some Southeast Asia, or maybe Morocco. The colors were coral and lilac, and you had these arches of a building, so it was architecture and the shadows and the color combinations, really beautiful. So what I did was I got the colors, and these are 2 cakes by Scheepjes, whirl. This one is called Coral Catastrophe, and the other one is called Shrinking Violet. So these 2 together will become a shawl, one way or the other. I noticed that my cushion back there has more or less the same color combination. Seems to be a thing for me, these colors. So yeah, that's a plan. Another one. And that's about it, I believe. 2 finished shawls, my everlasting Battenberg blanket number 2, and lots of incoming yarn, even though I just sorted my stash, but yeah, I just love collecting yarn. It's a whole new hobby, as we all know. Life update. Lots of relatives visiting around Easter time, which was fun. And sometimes interesting. And in other news, I've sent off the little prize for Caroline. I sent it off to Elizabeth, and I added a little bit of something extra for her in it as well. That is part of my But Make It Crochet Cal. And nothing else really. Life isn't always exciting. And sometimes it is exciting in other parts, and the craft life is going a little bit slow, but hey, don't stress about it. Just enjoy the ride. So yeah, have a great time. Enjoy your crafting time. Go to all the craft markets and woolly adventures around, and just go out and enjoy life. So I will talk to you soon. Keep well, keep safe. Bye.